Creating wpDataTables from Google Spreadsheets. Google Spreadsheets became a very popular way of storing, editing, and managing table data because it's free. It has almost same level of functionality as popular paid software packages such as Excel. Also, everything is stored in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about carrying the Excel file or mailing your Excel file to yourself or whatever. Of course, we introduced Google Spreadsheet support in wpDataTables as well. So in this one, we will go through creating and linking a Google Spreadsheets to a wpDatatable. But first of all, I would like to mention a couple of limitations that Google Spreadsheets introduce. So first thing, it has a certain, there is a certain limit of rows that you can use through this feature. So I'd say everything till 2000s, maybe 3000s of rows is okay because it's not that much. It can be easily downloaded every time. But whenever it gets more, your pages start loading slower and slower, and your front-end user won't have a really good experience with waiting because every time you open the page, wpDataTables connects to Google, it has to download all several thousands of rows, which is sometimes several megabytes of data. Then it needs to parse it to create a wpDatatable. Then it needs to parse it also on the client browser. And of course, it's a very expensive and slow operation. And if you exceed a certain limit, which is defined by your host, so it's less on shared hostings, it's more on dedicated servers. But anyhow, if you reach this certain limit, your page will crash, or even if it won't, it will take sometimes up to minutes to load. So okay, that's first warning. So don't use too big tables with Google Spreadsheets. If you have a big table, please import it to MySQL and then query it from MySQL using server-side processing, then it will work fast. As for another limitation, just please note that wpDataTables doesn't support merged cells, merged rows, and so on. So please, each cell should be separate. Otherwise, it will not read the data correctly. So that's it. Rather than that, for smaller tables, it works just fine. I prepared a simple table in Excel, which we will copy and paste to Google Spreadsheet and then use this Google Spreadsheet in wpDataTables. So you can see there is 5 columns: name, surname, company, city, and comments. All of these are strings, but they can also be numbers, dates, whatever. wpDataTables supports it all. So let's go ahead and copy this. And now go to Google Docs, create a new spreadsheet. And let's call it video demo spreadsheet. Okay, and we just go ahead and paste. And it successfully pasted all our cells copied from Excel. Okay, so this is the first step which is needed. We need to prepare our data set. We need to give it a name. We need to prepare the data in this. So when we've done with that, we can just check that everything is fine. And the next thing which we need to do is go to File and then Publish to the web. It's very important to publish entire document. Otherwise, it doesn't return the data correctly, and wpDataTables isn't able to read the file. So you can go entire document, publish. Yes. It creates a link. We just need to go ahead and copy the link. And that's it. We don't need to do anything else on Google side. We just go to wpDataTables backend, go to wpDataTables, add from data source. Here we need to say how the table will be called. In our case, Google Spreadsheet Spreadsheet example video. And we need to choose the table type, which is Google Spreadsheet apparently. And in this input that appears, we just need to paste the link that we just copied. We can define some settings, but we can also do this later. Now we just need to click on save, so the wpDataTables would connect to Google, read the table structure and the table data, and create one on our side, on the WordPress side. So just click save, and you see all our columns are here. So name, surname, country, city. Name, surname, company and city, and also comments. Okay. Oops. We can now preview the table, and you see all the data from our table is here. It's just already sorted by the first column because it's by default chosen as default sorting column. So that's why the order of rows is different. That's it. So basically the table is created. We just now need to go ahead and create a new page where we will use our table. So let's say Google demo. Here's a table from my Google spreadsheet. We just then need to find the button which is referring to insert wpDataTable. Then in this drop down we need to find our table which we just created, which is the last one, Google Spreadsheet example video. Click OK, and it inserts the shortcode. We just need to publish and view the page to make sure that everything works fine. Takes a little time to load. When it's loaded, all of the data is here. You see we had hundreds of entries. So 100 plus 1 for the headers, and the same here, 100 entries, and all of them are here, so we can do whatever we want with them. Only one more thing to note here. When we change something here, it takes a certain period of time on side of Google to flush the cache. So it's not reflected right away. If we go ahead and change, I don't know, Alexis to, we can try it now. Alexis changed, and then we just, it's already published. So if we go ahead and refresh the page, it will not be reflected right away. It takes from 5 to 10 minutes. It depends on Google actually. So I don't know how many minutes do you need to wait. Sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's 3 minutes. So the change will be here, but not exactly at the same moment when you do this. And also an important thing to note: when you change your Google spreadsheet that lies below wpDataTables, do not change the order of columns, number of columns, do not delete columns. You can only change the content in rows or cells. Otherwise, wpDataTables will get confused because it expects this number of columns, this order of columns, this amount of columns, and when it doesn't find it, it can break. So that's it. I guess it's pretty simple. Just prepare your Google spreadsheet, paste the link in wpDataTables, do some fine-tuning for filtering or column types if you need, and use the shortcode in your post or page. Thanks for watching, and see you in next tutorials.
wpDataTables, the easiest way to render interactive editable tables on your WordPress site. Purchase wpDataTables exclusively on Code Canyon.